Rupert Murdoch is trying to buy the property portal Rightmove.com for £6.2 billion. That's trillion with a B. But why would he want that website? Well, in addition to hundreds of local, national and international newspapers, Murdoch also owns the REA Group, a real estate advertising company. REA? I don't know how you pronounce it, but I'm going to go with REA. REA already owned the biggest property website in Italy, Casa, as well as At Home, which is a group of property websites based out of Luxembourg, France, Germany and Belgium, and 20% of the US property company Move Inc. I could go on, but for the sake of my retention graph and your screen time, I'll just say that buying property websites is pretty on brand for him. But why Rightmove and why now, I hear you ask? Yeah. Why Rightmove and why? There's a terrible echo in here. As always, it comes down to these three things: ads, subscriptions and data, which will only surprise you if you've been living under a rock, which given the state of the London rental market wouldn't surprise me. REA is an ad platform, so by buying Rightmove he can cover the site in adverts from friendly, ethical local estate agents. To say Rupert is a fan of the subscription economy is an understatement, as many of his websites already have that in place right now, so we could also be buying it for the sweet Benjamins, for my English view of that sweet King Charles's, that estate agents pay the site every month. Rightmove actually jacked up the price last year and estate agents got upset because they had to pay it, or effectively not be seen by millions of potential buyers, as well as people like me who browse it to be nosy and see how my neighbours have decorated. And last but by no means least, data. Lovely data. Data which must be worth either now or in the future more than £6.2 billion. REA not only runs the largest home listing site in Australia, but also owns one of the leading mortgage brokers. Their property site uses AI to personalise homepages with suggestions. Buyers fill in forms to get custom results, but that data is also sold off to banks and lenders to calculate property values, as well as your ability to borrow money. Because of course it fucking is. So they could be planning the same thing in the UK. And that sort of conspiracy theory does make me sound like Alex Jones, but prove me wrong, Rupert. Prove me wrong. Oh, and it's worth pointing out that because of all of this, Australians pay the most in the world to sell their homes online. But in good news, depending on which side of the monopoly you fall on, REA's profits in Australia grew by 24% last year. From Rightmove's data, you can get a vibe of roughly where a person lives or wants to live, their income, whether they have kids or not, and where all the hot singles in your area are actually located. It's that kind of info that raises the value of your ad targeting data from pennies to pounds. He can also use his media empire to impact property prices by covering more positive or negative news stories in areas that he wants to pick up a bargain or sell off some flats. This sounds mental, but there's already software in America which uses rental data to hike up the prices of flats. And if the algorithm started to take into account crime rates in certain areas, his papers could have impact. Could also rename the site Right Wing Move, and I will not apologise for that pun. Thankfully, Rightmove's computer says no, for now. Their main reason was the offer wasn't big enough. Not that the takeover would increase his monopoly, not that they would protect users' data, and not a third thing that I still need to add to the script, but because the offer wasn't big enough. They wanted more cashola, and for my English viewer, that's poundola. So we could all be back here in 6 months' time when Murdoch has more money to buy another digital property. Godspeed.